Do you know what the Latin word for left was?
Devil worship?
You're not that far off. It's sinister. Sinister. The word sinister is Latin for left.
Wow.
Whoa.
I think I knew that.
Wow. Fascinating.
I knew it was like something like that.
Yeah, you were
That's
close.
why all the leftists worship Satan.
That's right.
Yep.
Welcome to WayTooBroad, special Saturday, not morning edition. A show and tell program for really, really ridiculously excited grown-ups. We're doing a weekendy tone today. We decided.
That one's just for us.
We tell you what the tone is. You don't listen to it and figure it out yourself.
No, just telling you now, setting the tone, that's what the tones are going to be. Don't tell us that it wasn't weekendy, because it fucking was.
That's right.
I'm Hannah.
Also, shut up.
These are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben. Hi, Erin.
Mondays, am I right? Is that weekendy? What's up, Hannah? What's up, Ben?
Hey.
Hey, Ben, happy almost birthday.
Yo.
Thanks.
By the time this podcast comes
send
out,
me presents.
By the time the podcast comes out, it will still not be your birthday yet.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
True. My birthday
But it
is
will
Tuesday.
be close. What are you doing for baby Ben birthday?
We're doing a thing the following weekend.
Okay.
With my family and Kylie. We're going to have some kind of party or something.
Nice.
Some kind of something. I don't know. It's my birthday. It's not my job to plan it.
That's right.
Oh, that was an inside burp. Not exciting at all.
Is that like an inside joke?
With myself, yeah. It's a nice little inside joke. Well, okay, I have an upfront thing. Oh, wait, what are we drinking? Let's see. Who's drinking what? Ben, what are you drinking?
Worder. I got 2 Worders. It's Saturday afternoon. What, you want me to drink friggin' beer? Come on.
Get out of here. It's not that
It's
weekendy.
Saturday.
Maybe a mimosa. Ooh.
Ooh, does one of you have a mimosa?
I wish I had a mimosa. I have plenty of bubbly, but I don't have any orange juice. Well, I do have orange juice, but I really need to throw it out. I think it's probably alcoholic at this point.
Oh, wow. We go through orange juice so fast in this house.
Yeah, we can't have it because it goes way too quickly. Like,
if only one of you were
orange
around.
juice.
Hannah, do you also like lots of pulp?
Yeah.
Bring on that pulp,
yeah.
baby.
Hell yeah.
I want
Pulp
to...
is good for you.
I want it so pulpy that it's like the actual orange. I want an orange.
Yeah. I want an orange. I'm just going to eat orange.
I want the pliff, too. What's that called?
Rind?
Can you make a mimosa with mango juice?
Yeah.
Sure, man.
Hell yeah. Mango nectar?
You can
Absolutely.
make a
I've had
mimosa
one.
with any juice.
I might have some like
Why
canned...
is it nectar and not juice?
I have some guava juice. Ooh, I bet I could make a nice like, little guava mimosa. Ooh.
Why is it mango nectar and not juice?
I don't know,
mango juice.
Ben. Because it's...
Mango nectar.
Well, I have mango nectar, but I don't have any sparkling anything. So
Bummer, I've got a
probably
lot of
it's not in the
sparkling
cards.
stuff.
Can you send me some?
Yep.
Okay,
Just
thanks.
drop by.
Okay, cool. Be right there.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'm not drinking a mimosa. I had coffee.
Nice.
Fancy glass.
And drank it. Yeah, this was the only glass left that was clean, and it's like a nice fancy beer glass, but I made cold brew coffee in it. And then water. No ice.
Nice.
Why you been rocking that no ice life? Do you always do that?
Well, because I don't have an ice maker, and the ice that comes out of my freezer tastes bad. So that's why. That's the only thing I miss about The Office is the ice maker. There was a really good big ice maker.
We always made we have a Brita pitcher because Boston water doesn't taste good, and we would always make the ice with the filtered water when we didn't have an ice maker. But that was such a pain in the ass because
Wow.
it uses so much water to make ice, and then you don't have enough water to like It's just always annoying. Like after you finish the ice tray, you want to make more ice, but you also want to fill up the water that you just fucking took ice out for,
Slog.
and you always run out.
Slog.
It's a huge pain in the ass. I'm so glad I have an ice maker now. I can't even think about how much I hate.
Yeah, I
having to make
really
ice
would
in
like
trays.
to have an ice maker. Oh, maybe we should get a new fridge. The old one's been making noises.
Yeah, there you
Bad
go.
noises.
We got a new fridge, and it's got a great ice maker. Oh, man, Ben's probably going to get this, but we were like, our ice maker is great, and it uses filtered water. However, sometimes it doesn't keep up with our ice demands. It makes big trays of ice, but we drink like a lot of ice water. We always like fill up our bottles like to the brim with ice, and then sometimes you'll use it for like other things. And so I was like, how do I increase the production of the ice maker? And there's a really smart way on the internet. Do either of you know what it is, top of your head?
To increase the production of the ice maker?
Yeah, to make your ice maker make ice faster.
Do you put like a weight? No. No,
You make your freezer a little colder.
Oh, interesting.
Why does that work?
Because it makes the ice it makes the water freeze faster. It makes the ice.
Oh,
production.
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I know.
You know how temperatures work?
When I looked
That makes
up.
so much sense.
I know, exactly. That's exactly how I felt. And so we did that, and I think it made a little bit of a difference. We only did it a couple degrees, and I think we have a few more to play with, but makes sense to me.
Yeah. Wow. That's exciting. The idea of having an ice maker, I guess, is what I'm referring to.
Oh man, we are so old. That's exciting. Anywho.
Oh, but speaking of old, guess
What am
what?
I drinking?
Oh, yeah, what are you drinking, Erin?
I'm drinking an ice water and a big cup of coffee. What were you about to say? I just don't want to get so sidetracked. Speaking of
I want to celebrate our good homeowner skills, Ian and me, sort of, because, I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast because it's, like, embarrassing how long it went on, but we, our toilet started screaming like a few weeks ago. like every once in a while at random intervals, it would just like make this high-pitched whining noise, including in the middle of the night. And it would stop eventually if you let it go. It's basically like the flusher was starting to break. And so, it was like letting in a little tiny bit of water, but such a tiny bit that it was, screaming. So,
Sure, yeah.
So, we would have to get up like 3 or 4 times in the middle of the night and flush the toilet to make it stop. And so it was affecting our sleep schedules, and it was also just like really annoying. And so finally this week, Ian went to, Lowe's and got a new like flushing mechanism for the inside of the toilet. It's supposed to be like the easiest one to install. It took us probably like 3 hours to do, 3.5 hours. It was, and also we had like a situation with a leak when we turned it on. Actually, it was ridiculous. There's like a wash, like it's like a rubber washer that goes inside and a metal washer that goes on the bottom, and you're supposed to tighten it enough on the bottom that, first of all, not so tight that your tank cracks, but you're supposed to tighten it enough that it's watertight. The one that you attach the tank to the toilet base. So we thought we had done that, and we turned the water on, and it started leaking out one side.
Oh boy.
And so we were like frantically tightening, and it like wasn't getting better. And we realized that there was like a tiny little piece of this like rubber tube that we had to trim to size that had flown into the to the tank.
Oh no.
And got underneath the rubber washer. So it was like just sitting there breaking the seal no matter how much we tightened it. Like we would tighten it more and it would get worse, and we couldn't understand what was happening. So anyway, once we cleaned up the floor and it stopped leaking, it's been working perfectly. And every time I flush the toilet now, I feel a sense of pride.
Nice.
So that's good.
That is unrelated to the sense of pride you get after you poop.
Yeah, a second separate sense of pride.
We had a
really
toilet
nice.
thing too. On this episode
yeah?
of Talking Toilet, a couple weeks ago, ours, like, we have really old tankless toilets in this apartment, which are weird and no one uses them anymore because they're bad. But we flushed the toilet one day and then it just kept running. And like like that blast of water when like it first flushes everything out, it was just like that constantly, and we were like, this is annoying, and we can't stop it. And so somehow someone else in the building like knew this was happening. Like, I don't know, they were like, whatever, and in the middle of the night they turned off the water for the whole building, which was apparently a thing they could do. And then the next morning we were like, oh, that fucking sucks, we need to get a plumber in to fix this, because there's like a little thing you can unscrew and then take a big screwdriver and turn it to turn off the water, rather than like a valve like you do on a normal toilet. It's like really much more annoying to get to. And this thing, we found out when we finally got a plumber to come, hadn't been replaced in like 30 years.
Oh my
so
God.
It was like rusted stuck.
Oh my God.
And so we could not turn it off. But eventually the superintendent turned off the water in like just the stack of bathrooms in that like stack of hallway bathrooms on our side of the building, rather than for the whole building. So it was like only affecting our 2 downstairs neighbors, one of whom was away in Maine anyway. So it was like fine. And the plumber did come and replace the thing that like fucking was 30 years old. But now I'm worried because we have the other bathroom, which looks like it's equally as old. And like every now and again I flush it and it like runs for a little longer than I want it to. Like a little longer than normal. And I'm like, you're just gonna fucking start running, aren't you, motherfucker?
Wow.
Well, how does a tankless toilet work?
I don't know.
It sounds like it doesn't, really.
It's just one pipe going to the wall. It just runs all this shit and stuff out.
Wow.
It sounds like it would be easier to deal with than a toilet with a tank, but like to me.
But like if there are any problems with it, you like can't fix it yourself.
You have to bring in a plumber.
Like when there's like, yeah, you have to bring in a plumber, and like replace parts.
And for the plumber, that's a tankless job.
So true.
Yeah, it's
so true.
Like with a toilet that has a tank, if it like keeps running, you can like open it up and try and see what's wrong really easily. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's true.
I don't. It's dumb.
That's true. That's true.
All right, enough with the potty talk, you guys. Hey, we got a voicemail.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, okay. I have a new word idea.
All right, I'd love to hear it.
Okay. I like to say when I'm gonna say funky, I like to say fucky instead, and that's fun for me.
Oh, I don't.
Do you guys do that?
I don't care for that, but I like that it brings you joy.
Wait, instead of what you say, fucky?
Funky. Like in the way of like something's fucky with the toilet, like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be my connotation too. Is like something's wrong, something's up with this, something's weird about this.
Right, not like get down, get funky. Like
okay. Well, because I was thinking about it. Like this sock smells fucky.
Not like that. Mm-mm. No, not like smelling. No,
okay,
that's bad.
thank you. That's what I was thinking. I didn't care for it, but okay. But let me think about like this. Something. Okay, it won't work. It's a little fucky.
Yeah.
Okay. I do like that.
I actually don't know that I would normally use the word funky in that situation.
I wouldn't either. Something's a little...
But I would definitely say fucky.
Something a little funky's going on with the toilet. Something a little fucky's going on with the toilet.
Ew, there's a bug on my phone.
Oh,
what the fuck?
What the funk?
What the funk? Yeah, it's weird because I've been trying to like say fuck less, but then this is like my...
Why? Why on earth?
I don't know.
Why the fuck?
It would have been better.
I don't know. I don't think I've been succeeding, but for some reason I just like I don't know. It feels weird to cuss when I tweet and stuff. Not that I tweet very often. All right, I've downloaded the voicemail.
You gonna play for us?
I haven't listened to it yet.
Okay.
I hope it's spam.
No, I think I can tell who it's from, but I'm not totally sure because the transcript is not.
It's
great.
not
good. So, all right. So I'm going to play it into the microphone.
Sounds good.
And I'm pressing play now.
Hi guys. It's friend of the pod. I don't know if I can say that, but it's really fun when people say that. Sarah. I love and miss you guys. And I am calling because today I had some downtime and I went through like everything on the offering on Netflix and could find absolutely nothing. So I decided that what I would do was play puzzle games on my phone and listen to a podcast. But of course, I've listened to all of the You're Wrong About episodes, which is my very favorite podcast. So I went to the Spotify podcast page, and if you scroll down to the bottom, it gives you like top episodes from 2020, best podcast of 2020 so far. And the very first episode, I don't even know what the name of this podcast is. It's like a super tech support podcast, and I'm like, I don't know if I am going to like this. But the episode name is number 158, The Case of the Missing Hit.
Reply All.
And
yeah,
I have just gone on the most incredible journey. With this episode, I am losing my mind. Every few minutes I had to pause the episode to go update my husband about like what twist had just happened.
So good.
I cornered my son and told him the entire story from start to finish because I was losing my mind. I'm now, 12 minutes into it, a second listening, because everything about this podcast episode is like, I cannot believe that this has happened. I can't believe that this is possible. Okay, so the premise is that a man in California remembers a pop song from his youth. He can remember the lyrics and the melody, but he can't find it on the internet. And I feel like this has happened to me where you get like a little bit stuck and you really need to find this thing that you definitely remember is definitely true. And it's like that effect about the Berenstain Bears, right? And you're like, you start to wonder if you're an insane person. And so this episode takes you on this journey, and it's so good, and I will not spoil it for you, but my cheeks hurt from smiling. It's so wholesome. I'm losing my mind about it. So I would like for you to listen to it so that you can then lose your mind about it with me. Because, I mean, what a delight. The human brain, the human mind, like, the way that Google has all of the answers, but actually not as many answers as some humans. I just freaking love this episode. Anyway, love you guys. Listen to it. Tell me what you think.
I think that was her son or something.
Okay. I was like, there's a little voice at the end
like
there.
Grown men.
I mean, I think we've all listened to it, right?
Yeah.
You can give her live reacts right away.
I listened
love
to
it.
it because Sarah was Marco Poloing me and was like, do you have an hour? Because you have to listen to this podcast. And I did have an hour, and I listened to it and was absolutely delighted by it.
It's so good.
It's wild. It's so good.
So, yeah, that's episode, what is it?
158.
158 of Reply All, called...
I was having
Song
that experience the other
Missing
day a little bit where there was a song that I know is way more popular than the song in that show that I can only remember like one part of the melody from, which makes it impossible to look up because I couldn't remember any of the words. And I don't remember it now, so I can't sing it to you, which sucks. But I was like thinking the wildest part about that episode is how clearly he remembers like all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like the
got,
version
like,
they
so...
put, yeah.
No spoilers, though. Cut that out.
All right. But yeah, I definitely agree with Sarah. Highly recommend that everybody listen to that. And I would say to Sarah and everybody, Reply All is right at the top of my list with You're Wrong About, with podcasts that I listen to like the moment I see a new episode.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah, there's almost no episode of Reply All that I wouldn't recommend, but there are some that are really outstanding, and that is one of them.
I need to go through their catalog, because every time I've ever
Long
listened
Distance,
to one,
that's the series.
Long Distance
everyone's
is
gotta
really
listen to.
great, yeah. So yeah, definitely check it out, and especially their super tech support episodes. I always get excited when I hear it's a super tech support or a yes yes no. Those are my two favorite things that they do. But pretty much every story that they tell is worth listening to, in my opinion.
Thank you, Sarah, for the voicemail. I may or may not have heavily encouraged her to leave it, and I really appreciate you sharing that obsession with me. Because I really loved that podcast episode and have thought about it a lot and was absolutely delighted. Just like really put together well, beautiful resolutions. It's wonderful.
Yeah. The thing I'll say about Reply All that maybe I appreciate the most is that, and this is like a little bit of a tiny spoiler, but like it's more of a general statement. You know, there are a lot of podcasts that have mysteries in them, and then the mystery is the podcast, and you expect that there will be a solution at the end, like, but it doesn't. There isn't. It's just like, yeah, and it's still a mystery, and now I'm done with all the budget for this podcast, so I'm gonna go now. Yep. I'm like, that's how it ends.
I'm gonna leave you with this burden as well.
Yeah, right. It's like, I guess we'll never know. Like a lot of like true crime podcasts are like that. Even Serial was like that, you know. So like, but Reply All, what I've found is that in general, if they're always working on they have a lot of irons in the fire at any given time, it seems to me. And so the things that they actually put out as episodes generally have some sort of satisfying conclusion to them. So even if in the middle, it's like, how is this ever going to be resolved? You know, you won't walk away unsatisfied. I really appreciate that about them. That's actually, I never had thought about that before, but
yeah, I think they've mentioned before, like one of the reasons they put episodes out somewhat infrequently nowadays is that like they want stories to like be totally fleshed out before they don't want to release anything like prematurely that might have more to add on to a lot of the time.
I thank them for that.
I really appreciate that.
I think that's a good approach. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, that episode was a roller coaster for sure.
It was so good. It just,
By the way, long distance are episodes, it's a two-parter, episode 102 and 103 of Reply All.
I saw that there's a newer one. There may be like a follow-up for long distance.
Yes, there is. Oh, that one's good too. Yeah. After like 3 years, there's a follow-up. You gotta listen to the first two first. You got
Yeah, no worries.
So let's see. That was recently, right?
That was very recently. I don't know if it was actually, it was like part of another episode, right?
No, it was its own. So 164.
We talked about Reply All in episode 82. I'd sneeze all day if I could.
I like to think that was not you reading the title. It was just a separate, unrelated thought.
How it goes.
So just to confirm, so the other episodes we would highly recommend for like to listen to next of Reply All are 102, 103, and 164 in that order. Those are the long distance episodes, which are good. Love those boys. All right. They're men.
I love those men.
We like this little podcast. We like this podcast. Little boys run it. All right. I think we only have one more good year before their voice changes. Who's up next?
Ben is up first. Should we pop in?
Let's pop in.
Yeah.
Thank you for the voicemail, Sarah. We love you too.
We love you too.
Anyway.
Wow. I do too. Ben doesn't know, but yeah, he knows.
Now it's time for the big reveal.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, the computer I'm using to record the podcast is this little guy that's closed and off.
How can that be?
Oh.
How are you recording this podcast now?
How can it be? Well, actually, just a quick sidebar. I'm going to talk over here. Is that good?
Yeah, that's so good.
It's not good.
Rolling around the room.
This computer, my MacBook Air, just like bricked the other day.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it would not turn on. The screen was totally black. And I looked it up, and there's like a weird set of keystrokes you can hit while turning it on to reset what's called the system management controller.
Oh my god.
And that worked. And it was just like it was totally fucked. I charged it overnight. You know how there's a little like LED on the charger for Macs that goes from orange to green when it's fully charged? It was orange after 8 hours of charging. And I was like, this did not even charge. And then I did that little thing, turned it back on, and it was like 80% battery, but it was just like super fucked up somewhere in the like low level firmware. Anyway, that's fine now.
It's fine now?
Yeah.
You fixed it? How'd you fix it then?
The thing I just said. There's some keystrokes you can do that you like hold for a certain number. You hold it for like 10 seconds and then turn it back on, and it resets the system management controller, which is like a very low level thing that handles like power management and stuff.
I see. Computer. It resets it. I thought it like gave you that report that was like, yeah, you're fucked. But it just rebooted the whole hardware layer. Yep. Gotcha. Cool.
Anyway, big reveal. I'm on a new computer.
Wow.
Big reveal. I built it on Thursday.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Do you have a pic?
Yeah, sure. It's fancy.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
That's right. Ooh.
So I play a lot of video games on my computer.
Not gonna lie.
This is a well-established thing about Ben.
Not gonna lie.
And I've been using the same computer, the same gaming laptop that I bought in 2014 before I started college. Bye-bye, Erin.
Oh, what? Oh, she probably clicked away.
I meant to click on the notification, but it clicked on this fucking bookmark, which I think happened to Ben last time.
Wow, this is pretty.
Wow, Ben! Rainbow!
Yeah, I mean, I could have put more RGB stuff in it, because the side of the case is tempered glass, so you can, like, see into it.
Wow.
But
How'd
anyway...
you make it so pretty?
I just did. Well, the case came with RGB strips on it and stuff. Anyway... So I've been wanting to make a new computer for a long time, because that old laptop. Never buy a gaming laptop, which I didn't know when I was, however old it was in 2014, 18, whatever. Because they kind of go to shit in like 3 years, and then you can't really replace anything in them or upgrade them or fix them at all. Which is what happened to mine, and so it's been just the shitty, slow thing for so long. And then Kylie, with my birthday coming up, was like, hey, what if for your birthday, I get you like a part of your new computer? Like I'll buy you the graphics card, which is like the most expensive part of it. And I was like, because I was like planning on getting a new computer in a few months, not like this soon, but then she offered that and it got me all excited. This is kind of her plan, was to like get me all excited about building a new computer by offering this one part of it.
Wow, y'all nice.
And so I went on like this, like I just started looking up. This is actually what I was really obsessed with like last week when we recorded it. And so I almost talked about, because I was like in the middle of like looking up and reading up on what parts to get and everything. And I put together a build and I ordered parts and they arrived this week.
Wow.
The case was the last thing to arrive. It arrived on Thursday and I built it, which is really fun also.
Are there good instructions? I always wonder about that. Or are you kind of like winging it? Like, do you get like a little kit?
There's like, no, there's like, I mean, there's a bunch of videos online on like how to put things together. You need to make sure that like all of the stuff you buy is compatible with everything else. Which if you watch enough videos and read enough stuff is not that difficult. Also, there's like a really common website people use called PC Parts Picker, which I also used to like put together the list of parts.
Oh, PPP?
Yeah, PPP.
PP,
and it will,
PCPP.
it actually has like a built-in compatibility check. I don't know how detailed it is or how good it is, but like it'll check. I'm assuming it'll check for things like you have to have a motherboard that can actually fit your processor. Like there are different sockets for different brands of processors. Well, there's only 2 brands of processors, but whatever. But you like have to, if you get a motherboard that is made for the wrong kind of processor, you like can't do anything with it and you just wasted money. So you have to make sure that you get all that shit correct. But yeah, it's not that hard. It's actually not that difficult to do. Cause it's all like super, I don't know, it's all like super modular, and the motherboard, which is what you are putting a lot of the stuff into, usually comes the manual that like tells you where everything's connected and how everything's connected. And then if you watch some videos and stuff, you can do it.
Cool.
It's also much cheaper than like buying a pre-built computer from somewhere. And you can upgrade it if you want. Like I purposely I got a slightly more expensive motherboard because it has like a better, it's called a chipset, which is like what kind of talks to the processor. And that allows me to like upgrade the processor in the future over the next few years if I want to. Yeah, it's just like, it's all, you can just like slot things in and out if you want to over the years. If you're like, there's a fancy new graphics card that's coming out, which is actually happening in October. Maybe I want to get that, and I could just like replace the graphics card.
Very cool.
It's no big deal.
So it's kind of like an evolving project.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's fine for now, though. It's great. It's so fast.
Nice.
It's
awesome.
Speedy. Oh, I didn't even tell you its name. I was trying to set a name for it. And it's named Daddy.
Yes.
Because because it's just a fucking huge case. I think it was Kylie who decided.
Oh my god,
Who
yes.
came up with that name?
Oh, it's so
you
good.
saw it?
Kylie, because it's like rainbow too. It's like a big daddy bear.
I don't even think that was the lights weren't even on when she saw it. I just like showed her the case and she was like, "Oh, that's Daddy."
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." I mean, you know when you see it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just know.
It is Daddy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's Daddy.
It's Daddy. Wow, it really is. Wow, I like it. Wow. Well, I don't understand. There's something that I really don't understand then, Ben. I feel like I had been peer pressuring you into streaming because I'd been working late and like watching a bunch of streams, and I'm like, I'd rather be watching Ben's stream. Hashtag IWBS.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I mean that was the other thing is I can much more easily stream from this computer because it's much better. That is true. The thing is, I just haven't had time yet because I finished building it on Thursday.
Okay.
And also, I did kind of want to wait to stream until after we talked about it on the pod so I could reveal that I got the new computer.
Cool. Okay.
Nice.
Well, I'm no longer
doing it
interested
for the surprise.
in watching your stream, so.
It'll be higher quality. I've been like using the same old ass version of OBS since I first streamed like 5 years ago, and I just haven't upgraded it because I'm lazy. But I'll get like the newer version for this too. I'll get all that shit. I gotta back up my old computer's hard drive and get all my stream configuration stuff off it. I got some stuff to do, but I'll do it.
First, I gotta back that ass up.
Back that ass up on Daddy.
Is it the same? God.
It's so good at work.
No, isn't it great? Like
so
everything is so great.
Yeah. I gotta go spend some time with Daddy.
Oh my!
Ooh, I gotta plug this into Daddy.
Is it the same monitor setup and stuff?
Yeah,
that you got?
It's actually it's my two work monitors. I don't know why I pointed like you can see it because you're on them.
See. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Which one am I on?
You're on the one on the right.
Oh, cool. He's
taking
taking
a picture. Thanks.
That's the
wrong. That's not Slack. Where's
Why
Slack?
did I say thanks?
You're welcome.
It didn't come in yet.
Wow, I would love those rainbows.
I haven't sent
really
it
love
yet.
those rainbows, Ben.
Yeah, I can do a bunch of different kinds of stuff. Like I can do just solid color. There's like other patterns. Haven't found a way to turn them off yet.
You haven't found a way to turn Daddy off?
I can turn Daddy off.
Okay, I can't turn Daddy's lights off.
I don't know how to turn Daddy's lights off.
Wow, so cute.
That's nice. Love that monitor up on the stack of books. That's a hashtag work from home classic.
Yeah.
Mine's on a puzzle box, but yeah.
Does your electrical engineering background help you in this computer assembly? Not assembly like assembly language, but... Or is there any related things or overlapping?
I mean, I guess, like, I feel like I probably had
Did the mail come up? Did it just come? You guys can't see out that window, can you?
Nope, it's very bright.
Okay. The mail just came twice, I think.
You know what they say, and the mailman always comes twice.
Ian, the mailman came twice. FYI.
You know what they say, broken mailman's right twice a day. What did you ask? My electrical engineering background helped at all?
Yeah. Are there any...
I think that, like, they being the people that make all the parts for computers, do a pretty good job of making it kind of plug and play. Like, it's not super difficult for anyone to really do it if they want to. I guess maybe, like, it required less looking stuff up. Also, you want to make sure you ground yourself while you're doing it.
Like mentally and emotionally?
No, like electrically. Because electrostatic discharge can really severely damage these parts. Like it can break your processor.
Like static electricity?
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to see your doctor if you have any weird colored electrostatic discharge.
And I would say the only thing that maybe made it easier is that I have this big fucker on my desk, which is a power supply that has a ground port here that I could plug into to very easily ground myself with a grounding wristband.
Oh, cool.
And it's maybe a little bit harder for most people to grab a ground, although it's not that any
Metal.
like not any metal. It has to be metal that's connected to the ground in your wall socket. But
metal.
any like piece of anything that you plug into the wall that has like a metal chassis, the metal will be grounded.
That's
Or
all the
should
metal
be.
in my house. Anything that's made of metal, I plug it into the wall. This chair is metal on the back, so it's plugged into the wall.
That's the rule. Them's the rules. She doesn't make the rules.
Yeah.
I do. I did make that rule.
Yeah. I like
It's
to
my
say
house,
that even
so.
if I do make the rule.
Well, that's really cool, Ben.
Ben, wow. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see your stream.
Me too. I'm excited
Yeah.
to see my own stream.
For some reason, I've just been like what I want to do is like watch streams like around like 2 p.m. every day while I'm working. I just like put on a stream while I'm working, and it's just soothing. But sometimes there's not anything good on.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to become more and more true the longer
Well,
the pandemic
I got
goes
bad
on.
news. I'm not going to be streaming at 2 p.m.
But I was working late, actually, as like kind of an upfronty kind of thing. I was working like late the other day, so I just put on a stream. I saw ZFG was streaming, so I was like, hell yeah! So I put on ZFG's stream, saw him get the 100% world record, and then he rated Safe State, who was doing any percent, and like moments after we rated Safe State, he got the 80% world record. And that was like the first night that I was like, oh, I'll just put on some streams. I'm like, wow, so fun. And I feel like totally spoiled now, because then there's been like
Yeah,
nothing.
it's like never happens. I was extremely lucky.
I know. I was like, oh, that was fun.
Especially for a game like OOT where it's like so many people play it and it's like so optimized. World records are like not that common.
Yeah, I just had to like back to back.
Fuck.
Whoop.
Microphone punch.
Microphone punch. Yeah. So that was.
Yeah, you are spoiled.
I got big
or
spoiled.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're lucky.
Yeah, that's right.
You're their good luck charm.
That's right.
Earned Burn OG.
Yeah, Ernbernog.
Formerly Disco Greg just won.
Yep.
I think it was 2.
Disco Greg just won.
Yeah, due to the length limits of Twitch.
Right.
That's the only reason. I would have done as many discos as possible.
You did, in fact, do as many as possible.
I did. That's true. Would have done more. It's my only regret.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, Ben. That's very
Yeah,
exciting.
congrats. Good job.
Well earned. Well earned.
Even though you said it was
Thanks.
pretty easy, but that's cool. That's still a good job.
Thanks.
We're not as impressed with your feet as we would be, but
I do have to say, like, it's interesting to hear that it's like so plug and play, because I feel like I have heard of a lot of people who like built their own gaming computers, and every time I've thought like, wow, what an achievement. How are so many people doing this? And like now it kind of makes more sense. So
Yeah, it's very... There's definitely like a market for people that like to do this. So
Yeah.
the companies who make these products have made them very like pretty simple to
Accessible.
put together. In fact, like loading, like installing the operating system is always a thing that like some people I think have problems with, because it's kind of hard when you have a computer with nothing on it. But Windows you can actually buy from Microsoft a like USB flash drive that just has like a Windows install on it, and if you plug it in while you boot up the computer the first time, it loads straight into a Windows setup.
cool.
And like that's all you have to do. It's like this just like gotten easier in so many ways.
That's awesome. I think Dominic built his computer.
I think so
and now
too.
I'm less impressed by that. So that's
Yeah.
because of you, Ben.
Way to take away Dominic's achievement, Ben.
I'm so sorry, Dominic.
All right, let's pop into me now then.
Oh, I'm first this week. I do have to pee. I'm so sorry. Please.
Did you say you're first this week?
Yeah, what?
No, I think I'm second. I went last time.
What?
I think I
Did
went.
I not do the?
I think
Ben just went. So there's no way you're first.
I know. I meant first opposite.
No,
I was first
happening?
last week. I was first last week. I have to pee.
Okay.
I have to pee. You know, it's been a blur.
It's been...
Yeah, it's Ben. All right, I'll wait. Ben.
Before we begin with you, I would like to formally apologize to you, Hannah, for assuming that I knew the outline better than you, even though you are the keeper of the outline. I am sorry. For a public record. Please continue.
I will think about accepting your apology.
Yeah, you don't have to. That's the thing. I don't deserve it, quite frankly.
Oh, that's just so confusing. Okay,
I
well,
harmed you, and
maybe
I am
I'll bring
sorry.
Doug as my... It's okay. Maybe I'll bring Doug as my obsession next week. Who knows?
Maybe I'll bring my Doug next week.
Maybe I'll bring my Doug next week. But this week, I have to say, speaking my truth and all, I have been obsessed with one of the D&D arcs of Dimension 20.
Oh.
It's not the same one Ben talked about, although I don't know if you've watched it. Okay. Couple things. Ben brought Dimension 20. He brought Tiny Heist as his obsession last week, and I went back and was revisiting that a little bit, and then I was kind of looking through their YouTube presence, and I didn't realize how many different arcs and different like settings they had done.
So many.
So
I didn't
many.
realize either.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of a few of them, actually, because they have the first episodes of all of them on YouTube. And then another thing that I learned this week is that they'll randomly rotate in and out entire seasons of it on YouTube, but they censor the swear words out. So we watched the first episode of one that's actually set in like present day New York City. And it's like kind of Christmas themed. And then the next day I was on YouTube and I got recommended the second episode, and I was like, why is the second episode on here? And I looked and there was a playlist that had every episode of that arc. So Ian and I started watching through that a little bit, and then we came back to it a couple days later and it was gone. All the videos had been privated. Wow. But instead of that, the whole season of Fantasy High was on there, which is their first season that they ever did. That's set in a high school, but it's like a magical high school, somewhat Hogwartsy, but it's not a boarding school. It's like a.
Are they always playing D&D?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen one where they're not yet.
I like how he always puts it in different settings, though. I think that's really cool.
There was another one that I really was liking that I probably will go back and watch because I now have the app and like started the free trial, called A Crown of Candy, which is set in like a candy kingdom, and it has like kind of
cool.
Game of Thronesy vibes as well. I really liked that setting. It was really fun. But I haven't gone back and watched that yet. So I've actually been watching two of them. Ian and I have been watching the New York City one together, which is cool. It's basically like it is set in present day New York, but in this world there's like a magical sort of like hidden, like hiding shield over all of New York. So the enchantment makes it so that people who are like not magical, nothing looks out of the ordinary, but to people who are like part of the quote unquote unsleeping city, which is what the arc is called, like who do have their own magical properties or whatever, they can see all the sort of magical beings and stuff as they actually are in the city. So it's cool. And it seems like for average people, in order to be able to get to a point where you can see those things, you have to either be like really like fucked up or have not slept for a really long time. Like, so some of the people that are like characters in it are just starting to see the magic in the city for the first time, and some of them have been part of that world for a longer time. So it's fun. I really like it a lot. But the one that I've been watching more of and that I've been thinking about and that most of my dreams were based on last night is Fantasy High. So I want to talk about that one a little bit.
That's how you know the obsession is true, because you dream about it.
Yeah. Well, I was watching it like all the way up till bed. I watch it while I'm working. I watch it while I'm doing puzzles. I watch it like since Ian has had like his own obsession, like half the nights we don't even watch anything together, which is what we usually do. We'll just like both watch our own things on our phones, and that's what I've been watching. And then I like watched it like before bed last night too. So it was really inevitable that I was going to dream about it.
Yeah.
But it's yeah. So basically, it takes place in like a town, and there are like 2 or 3 sort of competing high schools, but they're all magic based. But like there's like the rich kids school, and there's kind of like the middling school, and there's like basically like the tech and the kids, the setting where like the kids all meet is like kind of the middling level of school. It's like kind of like just the regular public school, I guess you would think of it as. And like it's like starts on their first day. I really love the first episode because it's all of them like getting ready to go to school. And so you get a lot of interaction with their parents. And Brennan Lee Mulligan, his character, his like NPCs are so like fun to like watch and like have them interact. He's got like a very strong improv background. I think a lot of them do, but like he specifically, like Ben kind of touched on this when he was talking about it, but he's very good at playing off of what he's given from the player characters, and also like clearly had a sense of what he wanted or what they wanted out of all these like family relationships before it started. So it's very fun to watch those. That's like pretty much the entire first episode. There's like a really good and multifaceted sort of mystery arc across the whole thing. I really like everybody's characters. They're really fun. Like there's this tiefling character who just found out that she was like half demon, like over the summer when her horns started sprouting. And like, so did her dad. Like she thought that she was a half elf and then her parents, like her dad found out that her mom had an affair because of her horns, and they got a divorce.
Oh my god.
and so she's like, they've got that. So she's got like this like really devil may care rebellious thing going on, and where like the previous year she was just like a very like pink and bubblegum type person. She's like gone all black and like just and there's like a really religious like my favorite character, her name is Kristen Appleby's, and she's from like a very conservative religious family. Yeah, that's her name. She's the one that Allie
Beardsley.
Allie Beardsley, is that her name? Yeah. I think
so.
Yeah.
I think they use they, them pronouns.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Well, Kristen is the one that Allie Beardsley plays. And Kristen is like from a very religious family, and they follow this corn god named, I can't remember the corn god's name, but in the first episode, she meets she meets God, and he sucks and is like not cool, and so like she's immediately having like this like season-long crisis of faith that is like just really fun to watch. And there's like a half-orc character who is like 6 feet tall, but he's adopted, and his parents are both gnomes, and it's like there's just like a lot of really fun stuff. Like it's the most traditionally fantasy setting of all of the ones that I've seen them do, but they still play a lot with like the traditional sort of tropes and stereotypes of D&D stuff. So
cool.
I've really just been enjoying it a lot, and the dynamic is wonderful. Like they don't even struggle with creating sometimes when they must have been playing before that privately or something. But
well, I think it's like a lot of the people in that are like, because it's all wrapped up with college humor. Like it's all college
they all
humor
work
people.
together.
Dimension 20 is like a college humor thing. So I think they've all like written and acted in sketches together in addition to playing D&D together. Mm-hmm. Like performed together. So I think there's like some comfort there.
Yes. I think that you're right.
That's
Which,
cool.
you know what? Can I say overall, I've been getting recommended a lot more College Humor sketches than I used to because of this. And they're all funny, but like it's also sort of caused me to realize like the whole concept of college humor is really confusing to me. Like it's called college humor, but almost all their sketches take place in an office setting. But they work for College Humor, but they're in the office, and that's where the jokes are. It's just like, what's going on there? How did that become like their standard thing?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I don't know. I just don't know. So, anyway, that's it. Just
have you finished
else?
Fantasy?
No,
because I'm looking on YouTube and it seems like there's 17 episodes, but most episodes are like 2 hours long. So
yeah, the first season is up there right now. Unsleeping City has disappeared, so it's not on YouTube anymore. So
what is
in order to Unsleeping City, the New York City one.
Oh, okay.
So in order to keep watching that with Ian, I downloaded the app and stuff, and also because now I can watch the ones they do put on YouTube. They always censor all the swear words.
That's no fun.
Excuse me. Yeah, so there's like a lot of bleeping, and I just don't need that in my life. So
I have a question. So there's not like a main Dimension 20 campaign, is there? There's just like these sort of smaller things. Is that right?
I think like
Oh yeah, Fantasy High was their debut campaign.
yeah, Fantasy High is longer than like Tiny Heist. Like they have like kind of seasons of it, but I think the thing that changes in the side quests is the cast of people that are playing. So
right, okay. Matthew Mercer was on one. With Iffy Wadaway.
Yeah. So when it's the main group, I think it's not considered a side quest, but they don't have like a thing they keep coming back to necessarily.
Okay, yes. Yeah, so. It looks like Allie Beardsley, Emily Axford, Zach Oyama, Lou Wilson, Brian Murphy, Siobhan Thompson are the main quest cast.
Uh-huh.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so it seems like every season they do main quest and side quest in alternating.
Oh, that
order,
makes sense.
It looks like. Oh, and in the latest side quest had both Marisha Ray and Matthew Mercer.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I haven't watched any side quests except for the first episode of Tiny Heist. So I'll have to do that. But yeah, I like what they're doing in general. I just think they're really fun to watch. So I'm into it. So thanks for that, Ben.
You're welcome. I'm going to watch more of their stuff too.
I totally forgot to watch Tiny Heist, the first episode. I've been meaning to.
How fucking dare you?
I know, I'm so sorry. That actually made me look up. I was just Googling for like silly RPGs because I think it would be fun to run a really silly one shot of something that is like designed to be really silly. I think I would just really enjoy that with our little RPG group.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I did look. I don't know if this is what you just said because I was Googling Allie Beardsley's pronouns and they do use they, them pronouns. They don't have them on their Twitter. So
that's what Ben said!
I know, but I didn't believe him.
I know. Just like me and you in the outlines, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
I did look afterwards to see if I could find any place where they like Brandon Lee Mulligan or anybody puts up any of their homebrew stuff, and I didn't find anything. But if he's using just like resources that already existed, then I don't know, or someone may have taken what they did and kind of like you know, back traced it.
There's a good thread here. It's not Tiny Heist, but there's a good thread here about like funny, stupid one shots. So
nice.
I might do some research. It might be fun to just put one on.
reverse engineered is the term I was looking for.
You got it.
Yeah, I knew. I liked letting you.
What was the best one that Hannah came up with for
Backtracing.
Backtracing. All right, that's pretty good.
That's from a dead meme. You guys remember that meme?
The what meme?
A dead one? It was like a video of a girl that was cyberbullied, and then her dad was like, "I know who you are. I backtraced it," and like yelling it. Anyway,
Nobody knows what you're talking about, Hannah.
Hannah's got
Everybody
some
knows.
deep internet. Hannah goes deep on the internet and references we don't understand.
that's true.
Hannah
I'm
goes
very
deep.
online. I'm surprisingly online.
Some might say too online.
Some might say that. I might say
I
that.
wouldn't, though.
Way too,
I would never
way
say
too
that about
online.
you.
Thank you. Okay, that's it. Erin, what's your sesh?
Hello. I haven't really had a strong one this week for the same reasons as last week. Just like working and being into the same stuff that we've already talked about on this podcast, so nothing new. But I will bring up an app that I realized I was obsessed with as I was making the sales pitch to Hannah and Ben and my whole family, which is an app called Marco Polo. And it's this very simple, sweet little app that is just for like recording asynchronous video messages between your family and friends. And I have really enjoyed it. I've been on it for a while now and have used it, especially in the pandemic, to keep in touch with people. How did I first get on it? I first got on it because my personal trainer, who I've talked about in the past, uses it. We use it for communication. But then I really liked it. And then Sarah was on it because she sees the same trainer. So I was forcing Sarah to use it with me in a social way. And then I convinced my friend. And then I just got into the habit of really like I'm doing something and then I think of somebody. And I just find texting to be, I have just like short, fat thumbs and I have trouble texting. And I always feel so impatient when I'm texting, and I would rather just like send a little video. And Marco Polo just hits that sweet spot for me. So I'll just be doing something and I'll want to say something to somebody, and can just like pull out Marco Polo, then say that thing, and then later at their leisure they can watch it and reply back or not. And so I just like it. I think it's so nice. So then I forced Sarah on it, of course, and then we use it a lot. And then my friend Beck, who lives in Washington State, I talked her into getting on it, and now she's really into it and has invited a bunch of her friends onto it. And then I got my mom and dad on it. I got Molly on it. We actually use it a lot for communication, just like when we're in different places on our property. Mm-hmm. And it's really nice. And I got Chloe on it, my little sister. Hannah's on it.
How is it different from Snapchat?
I don't think it is different. I think it's just Snapchat for old people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, it live, just like live. Hold on. Also, it live sends everything that you record.
Yeah, so you can watch somebody live. You have the option to do that.
Wait, so if I did this, you could watch me live?
Yeah.
Right now?
And in fact, I'm getting notifications that that is happening.
Hello.
Yeah. So
Hello.
I really like it, and I found like I have just become closer with the people I've been using it with. Like my friend Beck and I would text a lot, but we Marco Polo a lot now, and just have like it's really, I feel like, enriched our relationship. We've started to do a book club together. Not on Marco Polo, but on like a video chat. But and just like having these nice organic conversations, I think it adds a little more richness to that other than just a text. She's Marco Poloing this whole thing at me right now. I'm gonna like see this whole thing played back for me without any sound.
It's so true.
It's true. I got my mom on it, and we use it. So my parents just moved to Ireland. We dropped them off at the airport on Friday. And so she had been on it, but I forced my dad to get on it, and I just saw little snapshots of their travel over there. Like they, were showing me, they're in their like little airport lounge or whatever, and were showing me, what that looked like. And when they got to their apartment, they sent me me and Molly a Marco Polo to show us around their apartment. And it's just nice. And I've been using it with Chloe, my little sister, just to check in. Little chat. So anyway, I just today petitioned all my siblings to get on Marco Polo. And I put us in a little family chat so that we can send each other little videos. And I just really like it. It sounds so simple, but it's just a way for me to communicate. Just like a quick little, it takes like no effort just to open my app and be like, send a little video and be like, oh, hey, let me show you this, or I have a question for you, or I was thinking about this. And it just makes me feel closer to my loved ones who are far away. The end.
That's nice.
I like it. And if you guys go, we can chit chat. Although we have a regular practice of, I feel connected to y'all because we have a regular practice of talking.
Do you want us to stay off it then?
Please stay off of it. If you join it, I will not talk to you.
Oh, Ben joined.
Yay! Now you both are on Marco Polo. So we could use it for like coordinating podcast times or being like, hey, look at this stupid thing or whatever. I like it. And I will mention for anybody who's interested, it's free. There is a paid, a plus version, and it's like $56 for a year. I went ahead and joined it. Also,
this is for the group, the podcasting group.
Wait, what? How does this work?
Sorry, now I'm playing on the app.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's a free version.
Oh, that's you. That's your thing. Okay.
It's your thing. Here, I'm gonna send.
That's your thing.
Wow, Marco Polo. I will say the only downside of it, I really like it for everything except it does, I feel like, really drains my battery. Oh, here we go. Hannah has just been spamming us.
Wow, why is it so loud where you are?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear like trucks
by.
by.
In the fucking city. It's always loud here.
He lives in the city. What do you want from him? We're Marco Poloing for you.
Oh, this is also different from Snapchat in that all of the previous messages are saved.
Oh yeah,
that's not true.
That's another really nice thing too.
That's like Snapchat's thing.
And you can bookmark them if you want to return to them, or you can watch them at. Well, it might be a pro feature, but you can watch them at like 2 times speed, which I like to do sometimes if I'm feeling anxious. But yeah, I just really like it. I just find it to be a really nice way to stay in touch with those I love. And that might be my communication style. Hannah and I were discussing this. Like, I'm a phone chatter, and, I like to...
Yeah, Erin likes to make phone calls and also, like, FaceTime we were talking about. Like, you really like FaceTime, but then you have to, like, schedule it. I hate both of those things, so who knows how well I'll adapt to this.
I think there's a social anxiety that, like, there's a layer of social anxiety, I think, that is removed in this form of communication because there is no expectation that you will be on the receiving end on any schedule. And you ever, right. And you can also, I don't know what features are paid now and what aren't. But I just got a Ben Brown Marco Polo. He's showing me his room. See, that's nice. Oh,
wow,
nice
it is loud here.
Yeah,
it's very loud. It doesn't.
I have noise canceling headphones, so I cannot hear it.
It doesn't sound that loud, but
a truck has been backing up for 2 hours.
Yeah, this has been in here all fucking week.
What?
There's like a big what is that called?
Truck?
You know the ones that like? No, it's not. It's like the thing that
dump truck.
Lifts people. It's not like a
dumps
crane.
Like a truck.
Oh, cherry picker?
Like a really big scissor lift. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's been like moving around to different places.
Wow.
In various buildings and just fucking beeping all
Can it
week.
only drive backwards? Did it brake in forward?
It's not. No, it's. I think it's when it goes up and down that it beeps.
No one needs to know.
Another thing
Who's
you
that
can
for?
do is a
The
robot
cars
voice
you're driving in the sky?
Oh my god, this is so loud. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It shaved 6% off my battery. Just doing some dumb Marco Polo shit.
Yeah, you can do helium voice, you can do macho voice, and you can do robot
A lot of
voice.
notifications from this thing, huh?
Yeah, you can obviously press that. Here, will you play that for the microphone so you can put it on pod? Yeah, you can do
helium voice, you can do
macho voice, and you can do
robot voice.
That's fun. That's not a paid feature.
No, that's nice. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm a little out of touch with those who aren't Plus members. So something I like about Plus member though is I can do HD videos, which is nice when because the videos can get a little grainy if I'm like showing, you know, showing somebody something from the garden or something that
or some grains like some rice.
Yeah, I want it to be on HD. I don't want you to miss
really
a
small,
thing.
like some sand.
I don't want you to miss a single pixel of that good content. Yeah, see, it's great. You can use it all sorts of things. Show people your rice. Show people your pebbles. Show people your flour.
Nice. So. But you can't just put things out there. There's no like stories. You just send it to people.
Yeah, it's just like a one-on-one, or you create a group. And
it's like what Snapchat used to be, kind of.
I've never been on Snapchat in my whole life, so I'm blind. I'm flying blind here as far as like relating it to Snapchat. But Chloe was like, it's kind of like Snapchat, and I trust her judgment. And then I was like, it must be Snapchat then for old people.
Yeah, it's kind of like Snapchat for
old
people.
But you can save the videos. I
also find the interface to be kind of like, this is not an insult, but I find the interface to be kind of like old people / fat buttons. Fingers friendly. Yeah,
big buttons, big obvious buttons.
Yeah.
Big obvious
you
buttons.
Want to talk to someone? You literally tap on their face, and it's like it's about as big as your thumb. So
primary colors. Yeah, I like that. I like that because it's nice and simple. Because you could record a video and then text it to somebody, but that is still a lot of work. This is just like you open it, you press the thing, and you're like, hey, what time do you want to come over for dinner tonight? Boop. Or like, hey, hope you're having a good day. I know you had that hard thing coming up. Boop. Just nice. Like, nice and easy.
Boop.
Boop. You have to say boop.
Boop. Hey, love you, boop. Boop. That's nice. I invited my parents while we were talking about it earlier.
Oh, good.
And they thought it was spam.
Oh, no.
Quick reply.
Tell them to get on. I would Marco Polo the shit out of your parents. See, yeah, and you can respond with a little text, and that's nice too. If you don't feel like, you can do an emoji reaction if you don't feel like.
Hey.
Okay.
Also, like live sends everything that you record. It doesn't like. Wait, so if I did this, you could watch me live right now.
All right.
Hello.
Well, this is quickly devolving into unlistenable territory.
Absolutely.
So we should probably wrap up.
Yeah, this editing's gonna be a nightmare. So,
but great obsession.
Yeah, I am obsessed with it.
Great job.
Thanks.
And I'm glad we uncovered that obsession for you.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
All right, let's do homework. Ben, what's your homework?
Build a computer.
Okay.
It's easier than you think, apparently.
Yeah, sure. Build a computer if you want.
Any idiot can do it.
Oh,
Ben is living proof.
Can do it.
Look how I accidentally
I'm a dumb piece of shit, and I did it.
Look what I accidentally just typed when I was writing those notes.
Build a Oh, wow.
I spelled it C-U-M-puter.
Wow.
It was an accident.
Build a computer. I guess I've now promised that I will start streaming again soon. Whoops. So if I do that, watch it at twitch.tv/discogreg, and my Twitter's nicely proved. Ben.
Cool. My homework is watch Fantasy High. You can watch it on YouTube. At least the first episode. Right this moment, I believe the whole season is on there. But if it's gone by the time you're checking it out, the first episode should still be there. And then the app is pretty decent. It's called Dropout TV. Or they also have a website. I would recommend it. There's like a decent amount of content on there as well. And it's pretty affordable, depending on what your budget is. Plus there's a 7-day free trial. So if you really just want to blaze through like a season of Dimension 20, you could do that ostensibly in 7 days if you've got nothing else going on. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Hanthropology. I have another podcast called So Dreamy where we talk about dreams. And I guess that's it. Erin, what's your homework?
My homework is to download the app Marco Polo so you can stay better in touch with your loved ones during this difficult time. And also, if you're listening to this, Uncle Brown, Aunt Brown, it's not spam. Get Marco Polo and let's.
You're spam.
Let's Marco Polo. That would be fun. Let's see what else. I don't have anything else going on. I think that's it for me.
Your books?
Oh yeah, you can go to lesbianlendinglibrary.com and see my Lesbian Lending Library catalog. Books. And watch Greg when he streams Disco.
Hell yeah.
If you want to call us and leave us a voicemail, shout out to Sarah for doing that this week. Thanks again.
Shout out.
You can do that. Our phone number is 774-326-0420.
Blaze it.
Blaze
it.
But don't dial
Got
blaze
that sip
it.
off just in time.
We're on Twitter at 2broadpod. We're on Instagram at WayTooBroad. You can email us also at WayTooBroad@gmail.com. And if you missed any of that stuff, it'll all be on our website at WayTooBroad.com for anything you want. EarnBen.com for anything you need. MaxFun.org for all the best stuff. And that's it. So the Bath & Body Works Stress Relief Eucalyptus and Tea Aromatherapy Candle podcast.
Thank
candle.
you, Bath & Body Works, for sponsoring this episode.
Thank you for sponsoring this episode. is now extinguished. Honestly, though, bye. Almost hit what?